What's up, everybody? My name's Hatler Gurius, and welcome to Thinking Out Loud. Today, I just want to talk about the Island Boys. Because even I've been a hater pretty much since day one. But when I don't like someone or the story that they have or that they're telling, I do research into them to see if they're lying. And the Island Boys have been one of the trickiest things that I've ever ran into in my whole life. And that's because there is a lot of very high-powered people behind those two boys. So before I get into this story, I'm going to ask that you guys smash that thumbs up button, please, and maybe send me a follow if you guys want to know more about life. Being crazy, I don't know. So I have to say, for not only legal reasons, but for safety reasons, that these are all stories. I have no actual physical on paper proof that any of this stuff happened. But I am trying to get a hold of Fly Soldier or his brother. What is it? I think it's Cody or Fly Soldier. I'm trying to get a hold of them so that I can put them on my couch. So, the Island Boys came out of nowhere when they were about 16, right? And they came on TikTok, flaunting a bunch of money, claiming to be rappers. But they obviously didn't make their money from their music. They didn't have any sort of career. They didn't have any jobs on file. I mean, these boys literally had no paper trail until they appeared on TikTok. None whatsoever. They didn't even exist until they were 16. So, I know you guys have probably seen, whether it's from me posting it or the rest of social media, but there's a picture going around. In my case, it's viral. To you guys, it might not be because we don't follow the same topics. But it shows the Island Boys, or two kids that could or could not be the Island Boys, when they were roughly 6 years old. It's sad because I believe it's them, and that means they were kept on his island for 10 years. Island Boys, hence the name. They came out of nowhere when they were how old? 16? Now, I don't know if you guys have done a lot of research on Epstein. 16 was his cutoff limit. That's why he moved to Mexico. You know, Mexico's got the consent law is like 15 or 16 over there. So, you know, if he was a pedo over here, he wouldn't be that over in Mexico. Look at the El Toro Ranch. To this day, the El Toro Ranch is a self-sustaining place. I mean, it has villas, everything. To this day, it has not been raided. No one has stepped foot on it. And this place was bigger than his island. All of them. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why haven't the Island Boys spoke out about this? Again, if they were with Epstein for 10 years, do you know how many elites met those boys? Or possibly did illegal activities with those boys? They can't come out. They might have 500 people that are still alive and still very powerful. I mean, one of my biggest questions was, how do these boys kiss and promote that they do things with each other on their OnlyFriends account and are not locked up? You can't make out with your family. That is incest. Incest is 10 years in prison. Why are these boys not in prison? They are real brothers. They have had sexual relations on camera. Why are they not in prison? Look at all the judges that went to Epstein's island. Look at all the prosecutors that went to his island. Come on. That's why. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but it's true. I mean, allegedly. It's sad, honestly, because everybody, I mean, who was it? It was the Island Boys appeared on Logan Paul's podcast, and I mean, and a lot of other people's podcasts, and they always ask them, why do you kiss your brother? Why do you guys do things to each other like that? And they always get upset because they can't. explain why. You know, if you grow up having to do all those nasty things plus 6 million other nasty things with your brother, then kissing him and doing other things honestly isn't that bad. Not in your headspace. In your head, that's a normal thing to do. But to the rest of the public and to normal society, that is not normal. You know, that's why they get so defensive when people ask them about it or bring it up or anything like that. They want to tell their story, but they can't because they will be unalive the next day. I might be unalive for even speaking about this story. I mean, who am I to expose this to everybody, right? Well, that's why I say it's all just theoretical. Feel free to do your own research into this topic. It's a pretty interesting topic, in my opinion, and there's a lot out there on it, honestly, especially with the whole Diddy thing closing in. I mean, the trials coming up, everything. Like, you got to think, in as much trouble as Diddy is in, he is not taking any plea deals. That means he has some massive dirt. He has some crazy shit that he's going to pull out from somewhere. And I think the whole dynamic of our globe's going to change, honestly. It's going to be crazy. Some of those white parties had 10,000 people at them. Diddy had white parties for 25 years. On a lowball estimate, I bet you there's 2 million people he's got on camera. 2 million elites. Not even Epstein had that. He didn't even have like 2,000. One of Diddy's parties smoked his whole career. We'll see. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, please smash that thumbs up button. I am almost monetized, so send me a follow and maybe you guys will win 30% of my income. Alright, you guys, take care.